are back, bro. I'm excited about this. Finally, I got a guest. It's been a while. I'm glad I could finally get you on here, man.
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I've been all right, man. How's life treating you? What's been going on with you, man?
None, just taking classes online and stuff because of the pandemic. Just trying to get them classes out the way. Everything doing good with the family.
All right, what school you going to? Well, whose online classes you taking?
Well, right now I'm at Lone Star, but next year I'm be transferring to Texas Southern or
Te-
Prairie View, one or the other.
I see. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you be studying?
Yeah, I'll be studying. I'm majoring in kinesiology right now, sports medicine, kind of like
Ah,
hearing. Yep.
that's what's up. I had Maurice on here. He's also going to Prairie View studying kinesiology. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
good,
that's
man.
what's up, man. That's good.
It's good to see you doing good, bro. So tell me what else been going on, bro.
No, and that's it. Just really doing that and playing basketball. That's pretty much it. Take care of the family, watching out for them. That's
Yeah.
it, pretty much.
So you're working on your game. How's that coming in?
It's been doing good, man. When I played football originally, that was just, I was a little kid at the time trying to get bigger. I'm still kind of little. I'm trying to get my weight up.
I see you, bro. Yeah, you were yeah, growing up you going playing football. You were a skinny little kid, but it's good. I've been noticing you've been getting your weight up, bro. So
Yeah,
that's
appreciate
good,
it.
man.
Yep.
You're getting your weight up way better than I am because my body isn't like growing correctly for some fucking reason. I'm
It's all good.
like on my like I'm gaining weight. I gained like 10 pounds since I moved out here, and like all that shit went into my upper body, bro. Even if I do get big, bro, I'm gonna be built like a bird. Small, skinny legs, big upper body,
Man, nobody.
like a flamingo ass standing on one. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
good,
man.
bro. Staying in shape. Hard to stay in shape with the pandemic going on, especially with no coaching, no classes, no athletic period, nothing.
Yeah, that is true. I,
So,
I agree with you on that one.
all right. So in terms of transferring, you've been you're getting your like first 2 years out the way already.
This is my second year right here.
Hmm. Yeah, I went to yeah, I was at Lone Star my first year. I transferred up here to Blinn for my second one. So
Oh yeah,
still
that's good, man.
still a small school. So, but I feel like it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right. So jump jump to the next subject. Election was yesterday. How are you feeling about that?
Man, me in my opinion, I just feel like anywhere I go, it's like us people, like the Black and Hispanic community, because we're pretty much kind of like the same if you
Yeah,
think about it like that.
yeah, and what I want to say about that, we pretty much are about the same, but I think that's more of a liberal ideology,
Yeah,
because I see, because if you speak to someone who identifies, a black, someone who's black who identifies as a conservative, they're against, immigration reform because they feel
yeah,
like for some reason they feel we will take away their vote.
yeah. That is
You know?
true. It's like with both parties, it's some stuff I can agree with on the Democratic side, and there's some stuff I can agree with the Republican side. So it's like it's kind of hard to choose a side. It's really like in between because with the Republican, I'm against the immigration rule with the wall and all that because I have a lot of friends like you and like all my other friends who's with the Latin community, and that's not fair. But at the same time, I'm against like the with the taxes, kind of like let's say like people who earned their money and for like them to try to take away the money that they earned because there's some people out here who wasn't born rich. Like for example, like Lil Wayne, you see how he was with Trump. Like Lil Wayne is from New Orleans. He earned all the money he made. He earned. He earned all that money. He's poor. He was born poor. He had to
Well,
work hard to get his money.
Well, the idea is not to take away your money. Is the idea is to collect your taxes at a different rate than you and I would pay. Like, let's say I had $100 and you had $1,000. And let's say,
Yeah.
you know, the if Republicans want to give you a bigger tax cut because they feel like you will spend most of your thousand on me, when it's called trickle down. They've been studying it since the 80s, and it has failed to work because, you know, they mostly don't use it on to improve. They don't use it to make jobs or anything, as you know they would promise. So let's say you have 1,000 and and I have like 100. Um,
Yeah.
and let's say like taxes 20%. That means you lose 200 and I lose 20. Now you do lose a lot more money because it's still 20%, but you still have 800 compared to I have 80 now. So I'm not living. I'm not living at the and I'm not living, I can't, some people can't survive at $80. A lot of people can't survive at 800. So what I think what by like, a lit like not just Biden, but the Democratic,
Yeah.
more liberal plan is like, our taxes be like 15-10%. So out of my $100, I only get like I can keep 90 at least, maybe. And
Yeah.
you still
I see what
go
you're saying.
like, you may go up to like what, 26%, meaning you still have 740, which is still which is still a contract, which, when you pay taxes, it's contributing to something. And not only that, bro, speaking of on taxes, it's like I don't have a problem with paying taxes. I have a problem that like two problems I have is that once like they take a big portion out of the working class compared to like the top 10%, or top one
Yeah.
percent in that case. Not only that, the way they distribute the taxes and on what they spent the money on.
Yeah. See that part right there, I understand, but it's like people who were poor at one point in time, they were at that $100. They were making like $100 a month. So when they get rich and the taxes pretty much goes up, it's kind of like they probably have a thought in their head like, wow, they're taking more money from me. When at one point in time I was in their shoes. You feel what I'm saying? So that 25% probably still a lot to them, even though the 800 they got left over is still a lot of money.
No, but like you got to think about it's like cutting favors for people. It
Yeah,
feels like it feels almost like like the mafia. A
yeah.
lot of millionaires give funding to like conservative Republican nominees, saying if you win, I want this in return. Like
Oh
some
yeah,
Godfather type stuff. Not only that, um, well, yeah, paying taxes is always going to be hard. It's one of the, it's guaranteed. It's always guaranteed. It's always
it's
going to be
guaranteed
hard.
in life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
everyone's gonna have to pay that.
and the other issue I have a problem with when it comes to taxes is, where it's distributed. We right now a lot of a shitload is going into the military, which I don't feel like is necessary, because if we cut our shit by half, our military
Yeah,
spending by half, we still have the most invested in our military out of every other country.
yeah, I agree with you with that. But at the same time, it's like if you want to stay at the top of the game, like one of the strongest military forces, you have to spend that money on your troops, your weapons, and all that. So I kind of see what you're saying, but it's like it can go any way. To be honest,
Not
they do
only
spend a lot of money on the military.
not only that, like also like there's a lot of peace talks, on the Democratic side that I think I could be wrong on this, but I think like Obama was like the first president to apologize to the Japanese for the
Yeah,
bombings. Yeah, because
yeah, bombing stuff.
during the two bombings, the atomic bombs we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because that wasn't we didn't drop them in the military base, bro. We dropped them in the big city. That's like dropping a bomb here in like New York and St. Louis,
Yeah,
for example. So yeah, that's another thing. Democrats are more about making peace. Republicans are more about being ready for war, like all the time. That's why they got out of like the I think the Iran nuclear deal and the shit
mm-hmm.
that like some shit that we could keep our eyes on people with weapons of mass destruction and everything.
Yeah. And it was another thing I wanted to talk about like the guns. It's like they say like the Democrats are against like gun violence and stuff. Like you have to have like Like you have to have your gun license in order to own a gun, right?
Well, of course, that's what. But like every the attack ads, they always make attack ads, and I don't know why these are so believable. They try to like make it like as they're trying to take away all guns, which some people believe that way, but like it's not the majority as they're trying to portray it out to be.
Yeah, I feel you, but like I was thinking, like in order to get your gun license, you have to have a background check, and most black people or Hispanic people, our background is not going to really. We gonna have something on our background, like people like who's poor, because they gonna go out here and probably try to do some things and get in trouble here and there. So I feel like most of the white people gonna have all the guns because their backgrounds are clear. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't want all white people. Not all Caucasian people are like this, but it's like you have to be careful. You feel me? Because the wrong white person can have a gun. You feel me? And as you seen this year, it's like a lot of people been dying of our community from that situation. So like, if most white people have guns and stuff, and they feel like they're being threatened, then that can also be a problem.
Well, yeah, it comes at a point, the problem in Florida, the reason Florida votes red and like was this type of voter suppression, that felons are taking away their right to vote. And
Yeah.
when it comes to like felons, they try to like use that excuse. These are criminals. They don't serve this. They don't serve the right to vote. They don't the right to own guns, or to get a job. But what they don't realize is like what you categorize as a crime, like
Yeah.
possessions of like what, I don't know how many ounces of marijuana to be considered a felony.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of non-violent offenders are taking away their rights, which I can agree with you in that case.
Yeah. Because some people, like, it's two different types. Like anything on your background can pretty much stop you from getting your license. From one riding with like probably 2 grams of marijuana to robbing a bank. You feel me? It's like it kind of fits under. It's like you broke a law, you broke a rule, you can't get your gun license unless your background is clear. So that's a major problem for me, because people in our community, probably not everyone, but it's some people, it's quite a few people out here who have that, and they can't own a gun because they can't own a gun to protect their family. They can't sleep at night because they don't have nothing to protect them if somebody break in their house.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like the thing that worries me is like the not the guy, not the people who have a pistol in their house, for protection. What concerns me is the people in the fucking in the middle of the woods or in the country stockpiling, getting ready for like some type of
Yeah,
civil war.
yeah,
In some states it's legal to own a helicopter,
for real.
an armed helicopter. Yeah, I talked
Oh
about this
yeah.
in one of my classes. Like this dude collects like used military helicopters, repairs them, and like has
Oh,
them.
that's wild. I ain't know that right there.
Yeah,
That's
that is
crazy.
wild. But like I at least wanted to make it as difficult to get a gun as it is to get a license, a driver's license. At
Mm-hmm.
least that's the minimum.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would
Have
be
a
smart right
test,
there.
yeah, have a test to figure it, like that what you're doing, not just because who's gonna give you a car or a driver's license not knowing how to
And you
drive?
don't know how to drive. Yeah, not knowing how to drive. Yeah, I see what you're saying on that one, but it's
Because
like with the technology and stuff nowadays, it's like people can really just lie and cheat online and stuff. So it's like a test can be smart, but at the same time, it's like,
no,
let's be honest.
I mean a
Huh?
physical test. I mean a physical test. Those
Oh, a
are like
physical
some
test. Yeah.
range. Yeah, not like the drive, like
Oh,
the
okay.
physical driving test, like the riding test. Anyone can like pass it. It's not really complicated to learn how to operate a gun, but to actually see people, to see you
Yeah.
operating a gun, that's different.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, I agree on that. So I seen the voting for like the race with Biden and Trump. People was going back and forth on Twitter and Instagram about like who they would rather have as their president. most of the upper class people with the wealthy people, they would rather have Trump, and kind of like the lower class people, like the black community, they'd rather have Biden. Do you like? Do you have any reason why you feel like that is true? Like, why do you think black people vote for Democratic and like Caucasian people vote for Republican?
Well, it's more mostly a wealth thing, you know. I think Richard Pryor spoke on this. You know, if people stop, you know, hating each other on the basis of race, then we find out who the real problem is, and the real problem is greedy people. And
Yeah,
you know, the greedy people need uh, racial tension to happen, so we don't, you know, figure out we're getting fucked. Because you know,
yeah,
people. The reason people the rich will vote for Trump is, you know, business, strictly business. You know, the tax cuts, the
yeah. Straight money.
the loopholes. You know, I don't want to, you know, pay for. I don't want to pay for this, that, and the third. I don't want, you know, policy restricting me from treating, like, lowering the minimum wage and everything.
Yeah,
And it trigger, and what comes down when it comes to like poor people who support Trump, it's like, you know, this illusion that like he's fighting for them, that they, you know, we all think we can win somehow. Like, you know, he's talking to like a dude living in like a trailer in the middle of in the middle of nowhere in Texas, and he's saying
yeah,
like, you have a chance to be a millionaire, and the Democrats are liberals are preventing you from achieving that. And it
yeah.
sells this illusion that we can all make it, when in reality we can all maintain, bro, but only few are gonna become, you know, the
Only a
top,
handful.
on the tip top. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like everyone's not going to be able to be rich. Some people are going to have to work that 9 to 5 to provide for their family. So
yeah.
yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. Yep, that is true. Yep.
Also, like, you know, it made, you know, before the Trump presidency, it made it a taboo to, you know, like, be intolerant, to be like, you know, to you know, basically to be hateful, to be racist, to despise people. But when you see, like, when you and when you see someone who acts the same way you do get into office, it like gives you a green light, like
Yeah.
it's all okay, you know. It's okay to call the police on this family having a photo shoot in the park, or it's okay to call the police on a family playing having a cookout playing music, or it's okay to, um it's okay to like call kick a family out of your restaurant because they don't support
Yeah.
what you believe.
Or like yeah, or like the one woman who called the police on a little girl who was selling water bottles
Yeah.
because she was complaining about she didn't have a like the little license things to where you can sell. So some people are like that in this world, and that's one thing I would have to say. Like us people would just need to like stick together because at the end of the day, we're all human, and everyone. I understand everyone's going to have their own opinion, but like we still have to look out for one another because we still breathe the same air. We still go to sleep at night, and we still wake up in the morning. So like at the end of the day, we need to stick together and provide for one another. Even though the other people, like the Republican people, don't feel that type of way, they try to single us out of their community. It's like us, like the mainly the Black and Latino community, since we're like mostly close, and we've been through a lot of stuff in the past. Like yeah, we have to stick together and stuff.
Like, you see these videos of these people like you and me supporting Trump, you know, and feeling like defiance. In some way, I feel like it's complacency. You know, going back to
Yeah,
like civil rights and you know whatever Latinos had, you know, in the mid '80s with the brown berets and everything. I feel like it's complacency. Like, um, it's a fear like shit isn't gonna get better than this, so like don't mess it up. You know. Uh,
hmm
I think like, all right, we're like, this is where we are. I don't think they're gonna give us anymore. So like, don't mess this up, you know. And I think it's that type of fear. Going back to like thinking about, you know, and like I said, you know, it's an illusion, bro. It's like this. It's not about race. It's about, it's about power, money and power. And
Yep.
like, for example, like, a big business, like, a bit, some that's making people a lot of money is jail, the prison system. That the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it's privatized, it's owned by people, by families that's an asset to them. And these people, these people that own prisons give money to Republican leaders, and here comes that favor they asked for. Hey, make marijuana illegal so we can catch more people here in near Houston, Texas, while we have a
Yeah.
jail
Yeah.
in the outskirts of Houston,
Yeah.
a prison
I
system.
see.
Yeah. So that so it's a game of mafia, man. Especially in
Yeah.
the Republican Party, because you ever notice, if you watch the Democratic debates, you should notice, like, they're really pointing shit out. Like, I'm not taking, like I'm not taking money from big corporate businesses because of what they're gonna want from me later on. And it's sometimes, and what I it sometimes, comes back to bite you in the ass, because then you don't have the, like, support, the same support as others. But like, that's what Obama did. He took money from Wall Street, and he took dirty money, basically. But once he got into office, he, like, passed Wall Street reform that fucked them over. And
Yeah.
when his reelection came over, they didn't give him as much money because of
Yeah.
that. But the money they did give him, he fucked them over again with more reform.
So back to Obama. Have you heard like of the? Do you believe in like that little the Pizza Gate thing, or the
No,
crap
I
they
don't
were
believe.
talking about?
I believe it fucked up how we feel about human trafficking and child trafficking,
Yeah, cause
because
that's
it was definitely fake, bro. It's like definitely bullshit. And they played they how that got around. That got started in the Republican Party.
oh for real.
Yeah, not the people elected, but like the people running and the people supporting. They started
Yep.
passing that rumor. It started going through Facebook, and then the fucking president, like the president now, Trump, like reposted it, and it started this whole conspiracy in order for you to be afraid of the Democratic Party. Now, because the
Yeah.
president posted it, now we don't take child trafficking seriously, because now we feel like that is bullshit.
Yep. It
Like, it
is.
doesn't, when it does exist. And child, and of course human trafficking is a problem. But
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes it gets, it gets like, really blurred in the lines, like when they found fit, like 23 missing children in a town in Georgia, when in actuality,
Yeah.
23 3 are only 3 are victims of child trafficking. The other 20 are kids who ran away from
Just
home.
kids who ran away. Yep.
Yeah. And like, that's where it gets fucked up, when you combine, like, you just put it together, 23 missing children, not like 5 rescued from child trafficking. No, just like
Mm-hmm.
throw them in the bucket, just condense it. No, they're all together, 23 missing children, not a big story.
Yeah. Yeah. So I see you there. And like another thing I want to talk about the what was it again? Like the L what's the, like the gay community? I forgot. It's like LGBT.
LGBTQ, yeah.
Yeah. Like about them, I have no problem with gay people. At the end of the day, they're human. So they, like I said earlier, they do the same thing as us. At the end of the day, they eat, they breathe, and they sleep just like us. So how do you feel about them? Do you support their community, or do you like you disagree with them? Because the
Yeah, I
Republicans
support.
are
Well, yeah, I
yeah,
support them. It's because, and mostly because, one thing, here's a mind fuck, bro. One thing I learned in history class, my first in my first year semester of college, is the founding fathers wanted some type of diversity. They wanted, like, people
yeah,
from other countries to like come over and have positions of power, because that's how, we keep this balance. Because right now,
mm-hmm,
the reason LGBTQ is frowned upon is because the people in power are mostly Catholic, Christian, religious organizations. But in reality, only 26% of the country is Catholic. 20 and like almost 30% of the country is non-believers. People without faith,
yeah,
which is nothing. which I have no problem, bro. Any like if what you believe in makes you a good person, then keep believing in that, bro. But if you're
Yeah,
like because of what you believe in, you're hating people,
and you're changing.
eh,
Yeah,
yeah. If what you believe in leads you to hate other people, because hate can't be like I have a tolerance for intolerance for hate. Period. So
yeah,
when it comes to LGBTQ, like just know what I want. I just want other people to understand is, it's not, they don't believe the same thing as you. I have no problem with it, bro. Because of course, how do I want to say this? How do I say this? Because you like what I believe, what you believe in, you should keep in your own house, bro. If you're
yeah,
let's say you're Christian or Catholic and you're against abortion, just teach your kids, how to be
yeah.
safe, how to like don't ever do this, don't ever do that. And if you
I
do
agree.
get pregnant, we're not aborting it. That's the rule, and that's the thing you will follow. That's the raise your kids in your own way, because you have a right to do so, and that's probably best. But don't
Yeah,
go out, to in front of a Planned Parenthood or a clinic, and
but
and
yeah, I
be
see.
like and attacking and yelling at at people walking in, looking because they made a mistake. Like you heard, the man in the army who died, and people from the Westboro Baptist Church, I think it was, were holding the signs, in protest saying, "God hates fags." The dude in the military funeral was not gay. They
Yeah,
were what they were there was saying. They were saying, because of gay marriage, God is punishing us by taking away our soldiers, which was really fucking horrible. Like you do not want to be at the
yeah,
funeral, at someone's funeral, and you're seeing that, and
yeah. That's not right.
that's not right.
That's one thing I have to say. Like they use like their religion, like the Catholic and all that. They try to use that to put fear in people's hearts, to where if you're gay or if you're bisexual or lesbian or anything like that, then you're pretty much you won't make it to heaven or something like that. So I see what you're saying on that one.
Yeah,
Don't try to like influence other people to like be what you are. Just keep that within your household, within your family.
yeah. Because like I like to joke about it a lot. I'm not a person of faith. I was raised Catholic, but I'm not into it anymore because I found out, there's like five main religions in the world. There's been
Yeah,
like 1,000, and I like to tell, the difference between me and Christians. I don't believe in 3,000 gods. Christians don't believe in 2,999 gods, and so
yeah,
we're just one God apart. We're not that
yep,
different. And like
pretty much.
you're like when people tell me I'm going to hell, I'm probably going to hell anyway. I probably believe in the wrong shit anyway.
Yep,
It's like,
it's
would you
but
rather go,
that's you
like,
though.
because it's funny when you put it this way, bro. Would you rather go to hell for being a sinner or rather go to hell for being a devout wrong shit?
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
like no
want
one really knows though. At the end of the day, the people who actually trying to put that upon us, they could be wrong at the end of the day. No one really knows because
to, yeah.
having no
So
one having yeah,
basically, what I'm trying to say is, bro, just be like a good person. Just don't. That's why I try not to hate anyone. I try not to have foul feelings towards anyone. I try not to uh, do any wrong in my life. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be remembered somehow, and there's nothing on the other side, bro. That's all I'm gonna have.
yeah. Like for example, like this one dude, this what kind of had me thinking one time. I went to like this meeting one time, and the dude was telling me that the Democratic Party was really meant for African American people to stay down, like to rely on them for like benefits, food stamps, welfare, and all that. When like I can't agree, like, cause my family, my mother, she used to get food stamps for like a long period of time. So like I don't know which side to like. I don't know who to
Well,
choose
here's
on
the
that
thing,
one.
bro. the when it comes to ever since the I think it's been since the 70s probably the Republicans were far against that. They were far against any type of assistance. The
Yeah.
like you of course you may see it like that, like they told me I have to they tell us we have to live this way in order to get benefits, but in reality is like because you live this way we'll give you benefits, and there's like a really sharp line, like the minute you make this type of money or the minute your life turns into this, uh
Hmm.
cut off, we because we're still helping the people down here. This is the and I can see where you can feel that way, because we're meant to help people like right here, and this is the
Yeah.
line. But and I know how it can feel like when as soon as you step past that line, you're cut off. I feel you, bro. But you know, I'm pretty sure like it wasn't meant to be foul. I'm sure there were no bad intentions behind it.
Yeah. I see. I see. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It comes back to like the case, like so Democrats, are for there's like mostly liberal issues. And last thing I wanted to bring up to you, bro, uh like conservative ideology, has a foggy past. Reason is because they try to tell you, it was the Republicans, were the ones in like Lincoln freed the slaves, and you
Yeah.
know
I
and
have seen
all that,
on.
the Emancipation Proclamation. But during the 60s, the civil rights era, the parties, the ideology started to switch
So they
in
both
some
like.
way, because the liberal ideology wasn't called the liberal ideology at that point. It's called progressive. The people for civil rights started becoming, identifying more, Democrat, and the conservative ideology started shifting more to Republican during the 60s. And the reason for that is because people were saying, it's not that I'm not against civil rights because I'm racist. I'm conservative. I'm not a racist. I'm conservative. They try to say that. I don't think we should be. I'm not against race mixing because of a tradition, not because I hate people. So that's where the so when you're looking back at history, that's a key point. The days where there was like this big shift in ideology,
Yeah.
where the party switched.
Yeah. So that's one thing I had made a mistake on because I honestly did not know that. I like nobody actually taught me that, or if they did, I was not paying attention in class because when I had looked that up and it said Republicans freed the slaves, I didn't know that the parties actually switched to where now. But now when I was watching the election at home, I seen most southern states Republican and the northern states Democratic.
Yeah, it's something they leave out because if you look back in like 1901 during the Theodore Roosevelt presidency, he was a Republican, but he had a lot of he has a lot of liberal principles, and I was confused at that point too, and like it's not really specified in like the courses you learn in high school. I was like, Theodore Roosevelt was for protecting the environment and was actually the first person to ever invite a black man into the White House. I forgot who it was. I think it must have been I forgot who it was, but I know he was the first one to bring a black man into the White House, and like he took a lot of heat for it. But yeah,
Yeah,
but he was part of the Republican Party, and it wasn't until like the civil rights movement of the 1960s that the parties started to switch because of their ideology.
yeah. I see. I
All right,
agree on
bro.
that one.
All right, bro. So I'm glad. Look, man. Of course you told me of course you got to go. I'm keeping track of the clock. I just want to say, I'm glad you came on here, bro. It's great to finally talk to you. And
Oh man,
great to have this conversation. The day after the election, and I hope nothing for the best for you, bro. And it was great seeing you again. Anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
man. Then I ain't got nothing to say, man. Just shout out to you, man. You always been working hard since I first met you on that football field, man. Keep it up, man. I'm really proud of you, bro. You came a long way, man.
I appreciate it, bro. It's great having you on here. Great to have the podcast going again. Hopefully, I'll be more than happy to have you back on here, man. Just
All right, man. Appreciate it, man.
all right,
Have a
it's
nice
great.
one.